Excited, coming off a day off. Good 3 days here coming up. A couple guys got some nicks and bumps and bruises. Nobody's serious, so we'll get those guys back out there when they're ready to go.
Rojo being one of them?
Yes, yep. But got good news on him, so we're good to go.
Is he day now?
Yeah.
Coach, you walked in saying Happy Thursday, so you at least know what day of the week it is, right?
Yeah, well, you guys, I don't show you this, but before I open that door, I look at my watch just to make sure I know what I'm doing.
How's it going so far?
Awesome. Yeah, attention to details there, effort, enthusiasm. The daily got to get better, and improving our games individually and collectively, I think, is where it needs to be. But a lot of work ahead here now as we hit August 1st. Time's ticking.
There, you seemed like you had a couple successful pass rush attempts through the offensive line. What have you seen from a rookie so far?
He takes the coaching and applies it. He goes, takes the meeting room to individual, the one-on-ones, to then team settings. You know what I mean? So he's working on his game every day, but you see some of the things that why we drafted him, where we drafted him, flash. So he's doing a good job.
The level of attention to detail that he talks about seems very impressive for a rookie. Is that unique to come into the league with that level?
Yeah, Teo. I mean, he's on it. He's a serious person and he's on it. So one of the reasons that attracted us to him, so he's here for a reason, and we expect that to even get better as well.
Where did you come up with your 5 buckets of success philosophy?
I wouldn't say they're success, Bob. I don't know who's spilling the beans on that. Yeah, if you just look at what a player has to do to maximize themselves, so I tell the players all the time, like our roles, everybody in the building, from me to the quality control to the head dietitian to the chef to the strength coach, to anybody, we're all here for one reason. That's to serve the players. Our roles might be different how we do that, but everyone's here to serve the players. The player's role is to maximize themselves. Well, it's like, okay, JG, you say that, but what do you mean? So we try to lay it out for them. Here's what that means. And in my opinion, there's 5 ways that they kind of do that. And you got to be working, they're all kind of interlaced together. You got to be working on all 5 really every day. Knowing that Buddha's a little bit different than Rabbit, where he has to spend more time on task at. You know what I mean? So, and we have the people in place here that are responsible for all 5, and I might be, responsible for these couple, and there might be a person that's just responsible for one thing. But that's what I mean by serving the players. Like those people are here for those guys to maximize those buckets. So. No, because I think they're all important. They're really all important. But they, throughout different times of the year, right now we're in a highly, physical, the tactic part of it. It's up there. Where in December it might be a little more health, psychological. But again, when I say that, they're all present all the time. And those guys got to be working on that part of all 5 parts of that game.
What are those 5 things?
Say it again.
What are those 5 things?
Come on. Physical, scheme, tactics, brain, health.
When did you come up with this idea?
In the last 20 years.
From your style?
Putting it all together, yeah.
With a lot of times,
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's just if you look at it, what do we ask these guys to do? How can we help them? How can we serve them? What do they have to do on a daily basis? I think we got it, pretty wired into 5 buckets. I wish we could put it into 3, but it's hard to.
A lot of times, rookies get a lot of good work in preseason games. Do you look at Marvin any differently than most rookies in terms of how you might play him or how much he might play in a preseason?
No, I think he needs to get out there and play, but we'll make that decision when we got to make that decision. So we're taking it day by day right now. He's working on his game, ready to go on a Thursday.
Last year, John Gaines was getting a lot of looks at center,
Mhm.
and then I don't know if it was just kind of beginning of practice, but then when Froholt left on Tuesday, it was Evan who moved in and got Gaines as your guard. Do you see him more as a guard than you did last year, or that was just kind of the situation?
Both. Yeah, just both. He can play all three. So can Evan.
With the first preseason game coming up a week from Saturday, where do you want to be by this Saturday? Is there a gauge of where you would like to be?
Yeah, I mean, I look at health of the team first always, and we're doing pretty good at that. I look at the execution part where we're at, and have candid conversations with the coordinators. Hey, what's going in tomorrow? This, and this, and this. Is it too much? Or are we executing at a high level? What's going in tomorrow? Maybe you got to bump it up. You know what I mean? So there's a healthy blend of that going on, but I know that we got to keep getting better. But those guys are excited. But if you talk to those guys, they know it's coming down the road. They're not worried about that right now. They're worried about today.
On the intensity side of things, is it high, low, high next couple days?
We are low today, and then we're going to bang the next two.
Kaiser was in here the other day talking about his relationship with Mac, and it seems like they've kind of bonded pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Have you sensed that?
Yeah, I have. I mean, because Kaiser has, football character through the roof. So does Mac. So those guys, they kind of see eye to eye on what needs to get done to win. So it's been cool to see, and that relationship will keep growing. You know what I mean? And Mac's really been awesome, not just Kaiser, but the DBs and the D-line. He chops it up with everybody, the coaches, the offense. So he was a great addition by Monty.
The Hall of Fame game, is that exciting? Maybe get your first look at the kickoff changes? Or?
I'm sure I won't watch it tonight, but I'm sure we'll watch the tape, yeah.
When Marvin goes against experienced veteran NFL corners, what will he face that he never saw in college?
Better players, probably. Guys that have played some ball and learned from their mistakes, and I think what he's going to see is week to week, he's going to go against different people, different body types, different styles, different schemes. All that goes into it. So,
You always hear with rookie quarterbacks that they have to figure out a defense that certain coaches can confuse them. Is that the same thing with a receiver, or is it just more a personnel one-on-one matchup?
I think everybody's a little bit different. That's kind of case-by-case basis, but Marvin's very intelligent, so he picks things up pretty quick. And I just talked about it on the radio or something, but I feel like he's got a good rapport with Kyler. You sit in those meetings, and he's asking, like, hey, I know the playbook says this. Is that how you see that being run? Is that when you need my eyes? Like, how much time do I have at the top of the route? All those things. So the back and forth, but not just Marvin, all those guys. I think that's when you say for a defensive guy, it's funny, timing and rhythm of the passing game, it's real. You know what I mean? So we constantly got to improve that part of the passing game.
What about the other rookie receivers, Xavier and Tajon? What do you
They're doing good. They're doing good. Zave's made some plays. I mean, T-Palm's doing a good job, getting acclimated. They're both playing different spots, so that's harder on a rookie. But they are showing they're taking what Drew Terrell is teaching them and fitting it into their own game because they're two little bit different skill sets, and they're working. I'm excited to see them play here.
Is it possible to already tell how Marvin will affect how the defenses play him
No.
and how that opens up for?
No.
You anticipate other receivers getting cleaner shots, assuming Marvin's going to draw some inevitable over the top coverage?
Like over the top coverage, like 2-on-1. 2-on-1, 2-on-1. If you're rushing 4, there's still 6 guys to cover 3, so they're still going to have the win.
Kaiser hasn't been shy to give Owen and Chris Barnes a lot of praise throughout this process. What have you seen from those two guys?
Awesome. I mean, they're pros, man. And Owen's just his second year. I think he took a huge jump. Sam did a great job with those guys. When Owen, honestly, in my opinion, took a huge jump was like Thanksgiving. And you saw him get some run and play late in the year. There was a reason for that, And I think that he really took that confidence of that, improving his game from there, that last part of the year there, to building on that. Chris is, as smart as they come, can play multiple spots, so can Owen. He cares. He's a good teammate, good football character, maximizes his 5 buckets. I'm glad they're both here. They're competing at a high level right now.
Was it just a factor of everything clicking for Owen?
Yeah, I mean, you could talk to him about it. Everyone's a little bit different, you know what I mean? And he's playing fourth. That both of those guys are playing fourth down too. So that's not just like, hey, just roll the ball out and go do what you want to do. There's schematics and teaching and technique to that. So there's a lot going on there. But I think it's probably just the standpoint with Owen. You can ask him. I think he feels comfortable with what we're asking him to do. Not as little less thinking, a little more playing. And then let your talent take over, and he's got a bunch of it.
What does it do for the offense to have a steady force like James where you know what you're going to get at that position?
I would say you want to be balanced. You want to be able to run the ball when you want to, when you need to. You got to be able to throw the ball when you want to and when you need to. So the better players you have in the run and pass game, hopefully you're a better offense. But he's been fantastic. I think he's improving his game. He looks very explosive out there, fresh. Big, strong. He's going to have a good year.
How can he improve? I mean, he was already so good last year. What is the next step for him?
Ask him. Every facet of his game. That's what he's striving to do right now. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. I know that's a cliche, but that's a lot of our guys take that to heart. You know what I mean? If he feels like he's not improving his game, he feels like he's falling behind. He's one to not want to fall behind.
In camp, are you seeing some guys fall behind mentally in terms of what you're trying to do?
No, OTAs, I think we kind of addressed that and handled it. Talk to those guys about it. You're falling behind, pick it up. No, I think right now where we are, all three phases is kind of probably, somewhere about normal. These next, 2-3 weeks here, and as you start playing preseason games, you put on that stress to them. You see how we can execute and think and all those things, and you're seeing, I think they're getting excited they know what's coming down the road, but again, they know they got to take care of today.
How do you think Clayton has evolved in year two?
He's playing faster. So that's probably telling me that he understands what Drew's thinking, what is his coaching, what he's seeing out there from the defense, where he knows people are going to be, more command, playing faster. I thought he's had a good couple days here.
When it comes to rookies, is there a general learning curve for rookies as far as when they can make an impact, or each guy did?
No, they're all different, and that's not like into our team too. There's so many variables that go into that, scheme, position, that particular player, people around them, all those things go into that. So no linear, plan for this is how this guy's going to impact the game. But we need our rookies to impact the game for us. I know that.
When you talk about receivers, you talk about two things: getting open and catching the football.
Yep.
It feels like Greg George has done that a lot this year.
Yeah, it's Donnie. Yeah, it's been awesome. He's been awesome. Yeah, he's worked on his game. There's some things that Drew Terrell, the receiver coach, Drew Petzing, the coordinator, obviously. We're like, you want to take your game to the next level? Yeah, of course I do. All right, here's what you need to do to take your game to the next level. And he's took that to heart, and he's shown it in OTAs, and he's showing it now. So he's he's one of the guys. It's going to sound, I don't know how this is going to sound. The look in his eye gives me confidence.
It seems like he's also making catches when he's not open. Is that something that he's improved now?
Yeah. I mean, he's got major ball skills, I mean, OTAs, I don't live in the past, but he had a catch in OTAs in the red zone. It's probably one of the top 3 catches I've ever seen in my life. But, yeah, he's got ball skills, man.
With Greg, one of the things you said specifically was you wanted to see more consistency out of him.
Yeah.
Is that something that
Yeah, absolutely. Like when you're supposed to run a choice route and run it at 4 yards, run it at 4 yards, not 3. He's doing a good job.